Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are now going to continue the game for the third and possibly last showable quarter of the game. If Temple doesn't bring it back to under 21 points, yeah, I'm not going to show the last quarter. I'll just do a post game of all Navy, all that's gone on, and then go on to the next key game. Alright, so here we go. As we start off with Navy kicking off to Temple. Now, first quarter, Temple did return a kickoff for a touchdown, so let's see how Temple's going to respond here. And the second half is underway. Caught, and he's going to return it out the end zone. If he didn't run into his own man. And the punter made the tackle too. Hey, Pat McAfee would be proud of that. Starting off at your own 24-yard line, though. And those are some of the stats I went over during the halftime show, which is being uploaded right now as we speak. Step back, throw, and, quick 6-yard completion. That's alright. You're trying to build yourself a bit of momentum. Take away Navy's and turn it to your own. So I respect the quick pass. I respect it, I really do. Doesn't give the defense to be fully set either, so great jump on Navy. Oh, wow. He's going to go all the way for a touchdown. Johnson out of the backfield. And Navy just allowed a big touchdown pass. And that is what Temple needed big time. Yeah, Johnson out of the backfield. Caught and ran it all the way for a touchdown. 70 yards. And that was just a bad play by the defender. He tried to swat it, but he guessed way too early. And now that is the momentum swing that Temple desperately needed. But it didn't really do that much to the momentum like I thought it would. Navy still has the momentum. But still, 70-yard touchdown pass. That's got to inspire confidence for the team, though. Yeah, 2 passes, 32 seconds. Hey, if you're Temple, you're proud of that drive because, hey, you scored on offense. You didn't have to rely on special teams. Now, can the defense step up? That was the biggest problem nearing the end of the first half. That defense kept allowing big runs, big passes. Decent return for Navy to their own 27. If I'm Navy, I am keeping the ball on the ground. Yeah, you see 61 plays, this 42 plays. It's a motion play. Oh! And he's pushed out of bounds at like the 38-yard line. That's one of those plays that could have gone for negative yards, actually. But I think Navy found that key in bouncing it to the outside instead of just trying to run up the middle. As soon as I say that, they run right up the middle. They lost a yard on that. So yeah, not the funnest moment there for Navy. but they still have the momentum for the most part. Handoff up the middle, and this time they weren't prepared, as Ward gained 6 yards there and has the good portion of the playbook open for Navy. From their own 43, they could surprise us and throw it again. They can run it. Whoa, sorry. The options are endless here for Navy. Motion, halfback give, and taken down. I'd like to say a yard short. Yep, 1 yard short. 4th and 1, they're going to choose to punt it from their own 47. Smart move, you got the lead. But you also just gave up a big play on your previous defensive drive. So your defense is still recovering from that, and also chose not to call a fair catch and got taken down at the 16-yard line. Going for the pass. Deep throw. One-handed catch by Lobdell, and now he's down at Navy. I want to say that's Navy's 35-yard line. Pretty good arm right there. 48-yard pass. 36-yard line. Close enough there. As Temple, apparently Temple's probably a second half team. Handoff up the middle. And Johnson with a 7-yard run has 8 yards in total. Which this late into the game is probably not the best of stats to have. Looks like a single back formation. Throws almost picked off by Rodgers. Almost picked off. If you're Temple, though, you gotta breathe a sigh of relief, because you'd rather have the pass deflection than an interception if you're Temple. Try to go for a fullback dive. I like the call. It's just now you're 1 for 8 on 3rd downs. And you're going for it. You're not trusting your kicker from 40 yards out, I see. Throws it. He threw it to the middle of nowhere there. And Navy just gained a lot of momentum from that. Now Navy steps back, passes it, kept his feet in bounds for a 1st down. Now Young's got over 200 yards passing for the day. Sorry. 1st and 10 from 37. Handoff up the middle. Probably 2-yard gain right there. 3-yard gain. So, here we go. 2nd and 7. If you're Temple, you gotta try to make sure They don't gain anything on the outside. It's a run up the middle. Oh, Andrew James just got injured. Injured his chest. Could have just had the wind knocked out of him. I know it certainly happened to me one time playing football. Heck, ironically, that's how I won the Lionheart Award for my middle school football year. Well, the only year I played middle school football, 8th grade. Got the wind knocked out of me during practice. 3rd and 2. Man in motion. But a handoff up the middle. Breaks a tackle. And now they are in Temple territory. Which, if you're Temple, this is something that you need to stop. They probably ran the ball like 50 times already. So you know most of the time it's going to be a run. Just spend most of your time run committing. And off up the middle again. Yeah, 20 rushes for Ward, 78 yards. 3.9 yards per carry. I'd say that's a decent yards per carry average. Oh, sorry. It's like 9:30 here when I'm recording. Another handoff up the middle. So yeah, I'm recording this when I probably should be getting sleep or work instead. But I'm just providing y'all with a little bit of entertainment for this evening. And hopefully made a motion. And 4th down and inches, I want to say. They might trot out the field goal unit. No, they're trotting out the punter. Barely able to trust their kicker from this far out. Yeah, it's probably going to be a touchback. Signals for a fair catch. Heck, line the punter up at field goal kicker. He probably could have made that. So now Temple is starting at their own 20-yard line. But they've managed to score, which is good. Shotgun. Ooh. Yeah, probably not wise to throw it into that area. So now, 2nd down, Dad. For the Owls. Coming out of single back formation. I mean, I like the idea of the quick passes. It's just now you gotta go with a long pass, which you gotta trust a 50-50 ball, essentially, and hope you can be able to gain at least 10 yards. You can't do a short pass that'll gain you 5 or 6 yards here. And apparently Ty Lane decided to try to run for it. So, yeah. Really smart there. Really smart choice there, Ty. As he just basically gave Navy even more momentum. Because instead of choosing to try to find an open receiver, you have now punted the ball back to Navy. Oh. A few good moves, and Johnson could have returned that one to the house for a touchdown. And then this game would essentially kind of be out of reach again. Navy's got to score 67 yards at most. Another run up the middle. That's probably a 3-yard gain right there. Yep. 3-yard gain. So now it's 2nd and 7 from Navy's own 36-yard line. Calling an audible, seeing some that they like. Pitching it to the outside. And that was a good stop there, McDuffie, who has 14 tackles of the day. 14. I mean, that's crazy right there. 8 for 18 for third downs for Navy, 1 for 9 for Temple. They're kind of forced into a .2 pass. He avoids the sack, throws off his back foot, and they are lucky that was incomplete. That was a pass deflection, but I can assure you, though, even if he did catch it, that would have been an incomplete pass anyways. So, Temple just managed to stop Navy's momentum, which is very good. Now they have a chance to possibly score themselves. Good punt. Will he call a fair catch? They actually try to pull off the reverse, and he actually gained a few yards this time around. But seriously, stop trying to go for the reverse. I haven't done this game in a few days, but I still remember the reverse. Like, Jesus Christ, stop going with it. You need to understand that it's not fully working. A counterplay, that was counterproductive. You lost 3 yards on that play. So here we go, 2nd and 13. You've kind of forced yourself to pass here, because you tried to run the counter. Counter didn't work. So, drift formation. I mean, it's a completion. Gained a yard. But that leaves 12 more to gain still for a first down. Sorry about that, I just had to go to the bathroom real quick. But yeah, Temple, 1 for 9 for third down. Forcing the pass here, 3rd and 12. I wouldn't be wasting the clock if I was you. And 6 yards. Like, why are you gonna throw it to the shorter guy when it's 3rd down? Now you're giving the ball right back to Navy. And in doing so, they could just as easily end up scoring on you as you could on them. But they kept Navy inside their own 20, which is good and bad. Good because they have more field to go down, bad because it's more field they can go down and waste more time. And they almost got a full first down from that. Probably like a few inches short of it. Like I said, they have to make sure they don't get anything on the outside. They figured that out near the end of the first half. Yeah, like they know that the ball is nearly at first down. Ooh. Able to come up out of nowhere and stop them from gaining at first down. Who was that made the tackle right there? McGee. Bob McGee got the tackle right there. 3rd and 1, you have to suspect it's going to be a run. It's 3rd and 1. Navy can waste all the time they want because they're in the lead. And they stopped them. They stopped them. Still got 5 minutes to go. Well, less than 5 minutes to go. But Temple can still find a way somehow to get a win. As long as they don't mess this up. That was a weird looking tackling animation. But they're up past the 30-yard line, like closer to the 40, I believe. 34. So here we go. 4 minutes left. And they just try to run the option. Losing 5 yards there. Ty, you are not helping out the team by forcing to be in passing situations. Deep throw, nearly intercepted. You see, this is what happens when you decide to do that option. You now forced yourself into passing situations. Keller deflected the pass, which is better for him because that gives him a better chance to try to complete the long pass. And he gets sacked. Number 75 right there for Temple just seemed he did not want to block. Yeah. Well, no. 75 Munoz or number 77 because they just allowed him right on through. And Craig is out here for yet another punt. I mean, Temple got something going on offense. Oh, Navy got lucky. Navy got lucky right there. And the reason why I say that is because that muff didn't bounce out of bounds. It could have just as easily been Temple ball deep inside Navy territory. Ooh. Preston gaining 7 yards there. Navy's making... Now, Navy made the most of a second chance earlier in this game when on a third down drive, on a third down play, Temple got called for roughing the passer, and that essentially changed the entirety of the momentum for the game. Oh! A pick while I'm talking about second chances for Navy. And they just go up and throw a pick. McDuffie. Number 11 for Temple. McDuffie with the pick. 14 tackles and now an interception. And now Temple could be cooking here. Inside Navy's red zone. A chance to get some points on the board. Now, if this is a 21 point or less score, I will consider doing the fourth quarter. A play action, rollout, dumps it to the fullback who gains 3 yards, I want to say. 2 yards. But still, they went forward. They have a chance to fully turn this around. Yeah, 300 yards. Good passing. And he's got a touchdown, which is good, but 3 interceptions. Not so good. Another play action. Throw. Caught! Touchdown, Owls! And the coach is choosing to go for 2. I mean, on one hand, I understand why. You're down by 3 possessions. And that's the Fox, who's now got over 100 yards for the game, and now a touchdown. But personally, I'd go for the extra point right now, because extra point, yeah, you're still down by 17. So you'd still have to get lucky with this quick throw. And he actually got it! Wow! Wow! Don't count Temple out just yet. Ty Lane now has 2 passing touchdowns this quarter, and they have now turned this around big time. Navy's probably going to be on the ropes now, because you have yet to score in this quarter. You've allowed 15 points. You had a second chance on a muffed punt, but failed on that second chance by throwing the pick. Starting on your own 27-yard line. Can Temple try to keep, well, can Navy try to keep the momentum that they built up throughout the entirety of the first half, or is Temple going to continue to steal it away? Motion, hand off to the outside. Stopped after gaining 9 yards. Negative 11 rushing yards for Temple. You, yes, you, watching this video right now, has more rushing yards than Temple does at this point in the game. Navy's prepared for a run. It's a bounce to the outside. And Navy's starting to build that momentum back. A 14-yard run. Surprised there wasn't a holding call there. But yeah, as of right now, looks like I'm doing the fourth quarter. But hey, more content for y'all guys, you know. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Handoff. Able to avoid not getting tackled in the backfield. A 5-yard gain. Slowly wearing out that defense. Slowly wearing them out again. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. 2nd and 5. Temple suspecting a run. And that's a run. That's a handoff to the fullback. I think he lost a yard. Brown with his 12th tackle of the game. Well, Ward only returned back to the line of scrimmage, but still. Couldn't break free of the defender. 8 for 20 on third down conversions. I don't think they've converted one this quarter, though. I could be wrong. They could have converted one. The pass. They're calling it a fumble. They're calling that a fumble. And Temple recovers the fumble. Wow. One of the things Temple needed to do was force turnovers. And they've been just doing that. Forcing turnovers. Up, Derek Myers injured his elbow, apparently, for Navy, so that's a key player out, and Johnson looks like he's coming in. Speaking of Johnson, Temple's Johnson didn't gain a single yard on that. But Temple can hit him with the play action here. Hit him with the old razzle-dazzle. Nope, just straight back to pass. And they rolled that one in incompletion. Yeah, Lane's a little upset that it was incomplete, but hey. In my eyes, I'd rather let it be an incomplete pass that hits the dirt than accidentally thrown over to the Navy for them to pick it off. Throw, caught out of the backfield. Gets the first down. Wow. "11-yard completion." I don't mind those guys being knocked down back there. Derek Myers got an elbow. Basically like an elbow bruise, essentially, but he will return. Nice little play action. Not nice enough, though, because Rodgers nearly picked it off again. Rodgers got to have like 3 pass deflections. And that stops the clock. And we know from past experience that Temple will not trust their kicker from this far out. Throw, caught, touchdown, Temple! And Temple, if they go for 2, will make this a 1-possession game. Nice little play action. Yeah, Fox, 5 catches for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Owls are coming back, and they have the momentum meter now. And they will go for the extra point to make this a 9-point game. Wow. It is now 38-29 in favor of Temple. Well, in favor of Navy scoreboard-wise, but momentum has now shifted to Temple. And if you're Navy, you have to get that momentum back. You have been completely shut out this quarter. This entire quarter, you have yet to put a point up on the board. Meanwhile, your defense has allowed 22. It was 38-7 at halftime. Don't be the Atlanta Falcons before the Atlanta Falcons even becomes existent. Heck, before even memes fully became existent. "34 seconds left in the third quarter. Temple has the momentum, but Navy has the lead on the scoreboard. That's all that matters, is the scoreboard for Navy. They have to keep the lead. Toss to the outside. Stopped for no gain. And that clock is ticking. That's something that, if you're Navy, you'd like to see, is that clock continue to tick. Tick, 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 tick. That's all you want to see that clock doing right now, because you have a 9-point lead. You don't need to give it up. Handoff up the middle, and that's probably going to be the last play of the third quarter. And what an exciting third quarter. As you see, Navy is ahead 38-29, and I will for sure be doing the fourth quarter now, as Temple has made that comeback. So, wait until the next episode shortly.